So after a little hiatus, we're continuing with Sefer Mareh Yaakov. This week we read Parshat Vayetze, and we again see something very fascinating with the notes that involves the notes and a Rashi and a Midrash, and it all ties together. So Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheva, Yaakov goes out of Beersheva, and Vayikach me'avnei hamakom, he takes from the stones, plural, around the place, and he puts them around his head. And then, when he wakes up the next day, Vayikach et ha'even, singular, asher sam marashatav, the single stone that he put around, that he put under his head. So Rashi asks the question, what's going on? And he invokes the Midrash, which tells us he took 12 stones to symbolize the 12 tribes, and overnight the 12 stones fused and became one stone. But we have even more depth to it when we involve what happens with the notes here. So the first thing is, up until this point, Yaakov has been a singular character dealing with his own fate. And the very first time when he starts to deal with his becoming father to the Jewish nation, father to all the ways that the tribes are going to act in the future, is this saying, Me'avnei hamakom. So from this place on, he is now going to become the father of 12 tribes when we start talking about Avnei, plural. So if it's going to end the way that he was before and continue on to what he was going to do, what note do we expect to be under Me'avnei? What note ends what happened before and then tells a story that goes on from there on? We expect a munach. So Me'avnei hamakom is a zakev katan. It's a munach under Me'avnei. So that's the note that we would expect, because that note tells us that what's gone on in his life before has now ended, and now he's starting a new chapter that's going to continue from here on. Before he was looking after Yaakov, now he's looking after 12 tribes. So the plural number of stones tells us that that's where he's going from here on. Now, the stone that he takes later on shows that all of these 12 ideas can still unify. But we've taken something that was multiple and turning it into singular. So we have to realize that when we're going to talk about Ha'even, it's going to have something that has a double meaning to it. That it's going to be something that both reflects the fact that it was many stones before that have fused, and also says that from here on in there's going to be unity. So we would there are a couple of possibilities here. There are a number of notes that have doubleness to them. So Ha'even has two pashtaot on it. The note pashta always comes at the end of the word. It's pashut, is simple. It's the simplicity. Most Hebrew words are malra. They have the accent on the last syllable. So pashta always comes on the last syllable. But when the word happens to have the accented syllable not being the last syllable, when it's mil'el or different, then we put a second one on the syllable that's going to be accented. So we end up with two notes on that word. And again, this tells us the double nature of what's going on here, that we had something that was multiple before and is going to be single from here on in. So again, the Midrash, the Rashi, is all reflected in the notes that are underneath the words.
Very cool.
We are now going to continue with Noach. Why don't we turn off the tape for just a second?